then I can certainly change my mind in that regard. But as it stands, MFT, a lot more of a standard composition, which is a little bit surprising from their side, but I do like the comp.
Okay. Well, you said something curious for me. Get Lazar ahead seems to be the name of the game then for SEM9, because for Lazar, his laning phase, I've noticed, hasn't really been great. He's been bullied out. He's been CS gapped multiple times already this split. And it's been a bit of a learning curve for him. So I want to see if he can do well here up against Wen, because for both these teams, towards the bottom of the standings, you and I were talking about MFT being 2 and 4. They really need to kind of bridge that gap up to beyond, up to the J team of the league. And this is a really important matchup for them today to get what should be an expected win.
Yeah, and for the side of SEM9, it's about getting some steam under you, because there's just really nothing going for the squad so far. And while the past 2 games have looked slightly better when it comes to, okay, well, they've been able to extend the games longer, the issue has been they don't have the real big impacts coming out from a player like Arashi when he was in the lineup. Being able to have that coin flip ability when you're up against harder teams is a little bit more necessary if you are the underdog squad.
Yeah, big burden on Caspiel, you know, running into this game again, as it seems like they want to continue running him. Tucker going for a bit of an invade here as he gets spotted out. This is just the top laner, but being a bit of a nuisance. I feel like this guy's been watching the shy, wants to make sure Caspiel gets a little bit lower on his clear, but it won't matter. Red buff Smite and continues to take the buff around. So going to be slower here to the top side, as Shuramain had to stay behind to get a longer leash.
Yeah, and I mean, the nice part about that play coming in from Taco is that it does force out the flash, or not the flash, but the smite from Caspiel here.
True.
And it will result in being a little bit slower. So we'll see how he adapts. I feel like as the Jarvan, in this composition, you want to try and attack the lanes early on, add a level 3 or a level 4 gank before you hit level 6, and then hit that lane again, of course, at level 6 once you have the ultimate. Thankfully, he doesn't have to deal with a whole lot of mobility in this game, which he had a lot of trouble against last week, where he took it into Beyond's composition, and they had Ahri, they had Ezreal, they had so much mobility. He won't have that issue this time around.
And so if we're talking about attacking the lanes again, you talk about Lazar needing to get ahead early. Feels like that's going to be the lane that we continue to watch out as he's up towards the bottom side now. Clearing away wolves as Lazar just trading off with one in the meantime. My curiosity stems towards the bottom side because that's where 665 is as well. So it does feel like there is an opportunity here for 665 to be in a good position to kind of counteract this angle as Caspiel starts moving into the mid lane, but it will just be Scuttle for now. We'll keep track of jungles here, Nightstar, because again, it does feel like the early game, especially at level 3, is where it's all at. And even one flashing away, trying to bait in Lazar, but forces a flash in response. Lazar has to burn his own, and that'll be an even trade now for MFT.
Yeah, and the problem here is Lazar's level 3, Wen's level 4, so slight level advantage here actually could make the difference. Is you're just going to have just that extra little bit of damage, and now Taco steals away this Scuttle Crab, which makes for a very, very sad J4.
He's still level 3. He's going to have to move up towards that Krug camp. That'll give them the experience, but there's a level lead here still for 665 as he moves down to the bottom lane. He'll have his own Krugs to go to. Should be a camp ahead. Should be a bit of tempo ahead as well. So overall, I feel like for MFT here, Nightstar, it's a nice little trade when it was a mistake by one walking up to Lazar.
Yeah, he ended up sort of playing a little bit too far up in that situation, but all in all, it plays into their favor as they're able to get now advantages in mid and jungle when it comes to EXP.
Oh, Epoch, nice dredge line here. They get the root down. 665's on the way as well. Gets his flash available as Death Sentence is blocked. The Ignite ticks away on Klex and he survives.
They're setting up for the dive.
One is behind enemy lines. He may not have his flash, but he's got the damage to deal with. Failure gets rooted in place as well, and this Thresh ain't going nowhere. First blood over to MFT with the ultimate aggression.
And doesn't even take a whole lot of effort to get that kill secured. There is when comes back into lane with the teleport and immediately just walks bot lane after he crashes that wave. So now he could get collapsed on.
Well, that's good flag and drag. Lazar now in with the chain. It connects. Nice combo here from the 2v2 of SEM9. One tick away, and Caspiel gets a kill. So a good response here from SEM9 in their strong lanes.
Yeah, Caspiel with a brilliant response there, cutting off Wen before he gets all the way back into the lane. And that is a massive kill, right? Because now he's going to get denied this wave of the XP. He's going to lose a couple of those minions to the tower as well. So all in all, a great recovery coming in from SEM9 to try and even out things, especially for this mid lane, which we highlighted needs to get ahead.
And it is ahead, right? That assist comes through. The kill does go to Caspiel, but Lazar's actually up 15 CS. We're going to cancel that.
Yep.
There's about 4 minions that are going to go down here to win, but still close to 10 CS. A very big deal when Lazar's laning has been something we've been critical of.
Yeah, and even more importantly, you had that level difference, right? So, and as a result, Wen, with the Unsealed Spellbook on the rise, has opted into the Ignite to try and reestablish kill pressure in the event Lazar tries to go in for the kill with that level 6 advantage.
Might even look for it in the bottom lane, close to Realm Warp. That's 1 minion's worth of experience. As Caspiel with the lens, not going to spot them out. The flag and drag is available. They spot him, 665 behind him as well. Safeguard, Rune Prison down, and it's a Sonic Wave that connects all the way over the wall. Lazar with the great root, though, may have saved his jungler's life as 665 going deep. Lazar saves the day. The weak member of SEM9 getting a good response while MFT collapsed and Clayex and Philia walked into a trap. Epoch wants another dredge line, and even under the turret, he should not feel safe with MFT on the hunt.
They're on the hunt, but thankfully, the wave isn't quite there to the tower, so it would make for a very difficult dive in that situation, but it also still denies Clayex all of those minions and EXP. So right now, we're just going tit for tat for the most part, and I mean, the biggest losses have been really just these minions dying to the tower or getting denied away as they're forced into these recalls.
I mean, every single time Lazar seems like he's pushing out the wave, then making the move as a response, so nice to see here from SEM9. They don't have the gold lead, but they do have my confidence play. Again, Caspiel, Lazar, great early game. MFT still responding, but I want to see how far they can take this LeBlanc. You did say, Nightstar, that condition for this game for SEM9 was Lazar getting those kills, that early access on LeBlanc, and he started to do that. Maybe not important. Wow. MFT still hitting bot lane. I'm going to bring it back. Lazar is worth talking about because we never talk about him on broadcast.
At least not in a positive light.
There you go.
So, and right now he has the sword food, so he does plenty of damage. As there aren't a whole lot of resistances built up on the side of MFT, of course.
Yeah.
But I feel like there should start to be some magic resistance being built up, because you look at Shiromine's build, he's actually going for, I believe, the Everfrost build instead of just going for the full tank, because he does have that Amta, which is interesting. But Caspiel is also in an interesting predicament.
Yeah, he's been dredgeline back in. The flag and drag over to use the kickback Sonic Wave as well. Philia saving the day with the Dark Passage. Ignite going down, but Whale snipes him with the Super Mega Death Rocket. And Philia, the next target. Zap blocked by Blue Buff. What a friendly encounter, but 665 makes short work of Philia. Flashes the IG emote with Epoch and LGD. MFT styling now that they've found their win.
Probably one of the best flipping junglers on that IG roster. Of course, Ning, as he would oftentimes go for these.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's, I guess that's where MFT are finding their momentum, because I tell you what, when it all looks good for Lazar, for Caspiel, like, again, it feels like MFT are really capitalizing on this jungler being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, Caspiel, for the most part, has been able to identify where he needs to be, but just a couple slip-ups here or there, and when you are, of course, the underdog team, these slip-ups are going to be very costly because of the fact that you don't expect to get a whole lot of leads. We get to see the replay. Caspiel just goes a little bit too far forward into the river, and he doesn't have that mid-priority quite yet when able to make the faster rotation, and Felia is just really a casualty of war in that instance as well, because he just wants to help out his jungler, and his jungler brings 3 goons.
I mean, as well, the Super Mega Death Rocket adding so much impact. Like, Whale, his ability to be near that fight, whether he's in it or not, as we see a flag and drag again, Cataclysm through the mid lane, Ignite placed down by Wern, but
here too.
I think this is turning, and even though Lazar's done great damage on top of Wern, he'll be taken down. Golden in the nick of time, and Caspiel wants the flag, the Ignite down, he dies, Super Mega Death Rocket avoided in the mid lane as well. Nightstar, we are heating up in this game, and 665 wants to kill Felia again. There's the play, the flash forward. Epoch helps him out, and 665 now on a killing spree. Make it double. 4-1 and 3, MFT styling.
Man, 665, we talked about him being the carry jungler, and Lee Sin can certainly do that, as he is just absolutely taking over this early game. And MFT have shot out to a 4K gold lead at just 11 minutes into the game.
I don't know how it got to this point when you have such a big gold lead. What has just been that, as you called it, IG trading going on?
Yeah, they're just constantly looking for these flips. At the very least, Caspiel trying to look for that level 6 play. We highlighted, hey, at level 6, you do have a decent amount of burst damage. Not quite as much as something like a LeBlanc Lee Sin combination, but it's pretty respectable nonetheless. But I mean, it's just this Lee Sin's just too far ahead. Level 7, he's got the level advantage, levels up once more after that fight as well, so he's just got a massive gold and EXP advantage. And the biggest benefactor of all this action towards the bottom half of the map as well has been Taco. Like, you look at what he's been doing, he has Hullbreaker completed, he's got 1,000,000 CS over Shiromine. Shiromine is also going for the carry version of Gragas. Like, it's the carry version just gets punished a lot harder against this Graves, and really you're just trying to find those burst casks, but at the same time the cask interaction with the Cataclysm interaction is not very synergized.
Yeah, it is definitely anti-synergy. We've got another fight going though. 65 in a bit of trouble. Wanted Lazar once again, who gets low. Ophelia the same box down though, but look at 665, they're using everything to kill him, but at least into a choke. Clayx is doing some dirty work as Realm Warp gets them out. MFT in the wrong place at the wrong time this time. It's SEM9 who get a kill.
SEM9 get a massive pick there, because that kill goes into the hands of Clayx, and a lot of the times when we were looking for that earlier invade onto that blue buff coming in from MFT, Clayx couldn't make that rotation over because he wasn't level 6. That's why the rocket comes out and has more impact in that situation. But with that kill, he gets a lot of EXP back into his hands. He's caught up on CS as well. So that is an amazing turn of events for the side of SEM9.
I just love we got the back end of that replay. Obviously, observers are MFT fans. They don't want to see 665 going down. But look, at the very least, a really nice play here from SEM9, but we have to remember, coming back to reality, Herald's there. I'm wondering if it's going to get the full charges. Nope, smite down, Caspiel denies it, and yeah, maybe another Ning play coming through. As with that Herald denial as well, I feel like for SEM9, options are starting to open up again. Despite being 4,000 gold down, we're getting past turret plating here as well. And I want to point out, Nightstar, that you did talk about, you know, what can be dangerous here for SEM9, and Caspiel's ult almost up and available. Lazar close to his first item too. I think there are options that will create itself around these next couple of objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the nice part is Clayx now keeping in pace with Whale, has the Gale Force completed alongside Whale's Gale Force. So that'll be very important to keep track of, because again, limited mobility when it comes to the backline for both of these teams. Lazard doesn't exactly count as backline in my opinion, but more fighting.
Oh, they flashed away. Cataclysm Bird as well with the Groudon follow-up to the ult from Clayx once again. MFT stepping way too far forward. SEM9 are starting to bridge into this mid-game quite nicely.
Yeah, in the early phase of the game, we talked about Caspiel perhaps overextending himself and getting caught out. Now it's on the flip side. 665 ends up saying, okay, I'm Lee Sin, I'm ahead, there's no way I just die here. But he doesn't exactly have a whole lot of defensive stats, even though he does a lot of damage. So he gets caught out, ends up dying yet again, and that's going to take a lot of the momentum out of MFT.
I mean, it's slowed down by the last couple of plays. And they've got a dragon, SEM9. So with the Mountain Dragon in their back pocket as well, delaying that soul point that is going to be an Ocean this game, it does feel, again, we can be more positive on SEM9 than a 5k gold lead suggests. We need to keep track of Lazar, who picked up the kill in that last fight, in that last pick, I should say. He's now got the Ludens. We have 4 Mythics there, Nightstar. And the Everfrost, even though I know you're not a big fan of the AP Gragas in the top side, that's at least picked up now. So matching MFT quite nicely, there is going to be a lot more damage SEM9 can play with.
Yeah, and what... Okay. Caspiel.
Okay, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. Oh my god, he's denied. He is denied, and Wen joins in. So what I was saying about SEM9 doesn't apply if MFT look for picks themselves.
Yeah, it's really just going to be a battle of picks, right? And because of how fast-paced this game has been when it comes to just try and generate kill after kill, there hasn't been a whole lot of quiet time to allow for these teams to set up vision, to set up pockets of safe places to actually play around. That's why these picks just keep on coming forth.
True, there's a lot of turnover in those brushes, like... Not enough time, he said. Even Lazar walking up to the wave. Sonic Wave is going to connect as well. He's following suit. Lazar has to double distortion backwards. Stop flexing it, 665. We get it. And I wanted to say something in this game that MFT, they're also, while the trades go back and forth, and I'm being optimistic on SEM9, every single time the Caspiel shows up or you see that SEM9 set up for a play, they're losing that pressure on the other side of the map. 204 CS for Taco. He has not played League of Legends. He's played PvE. He's literally been playing Elden Ring. So that's a level 12 Graves at the side lane. That is 50 CS over his counterpart.
Yeah, and you just consider 207 CS. We're not even 20 minutes in. Like, you would consider that to be the mark at 20 minutes, but he is above and beyond right now. And, I mean, he's completely set up to take over the game.
I really don't know if they can kill him. Whole Breaker in a solo lane is pretty strong. Maybe with 3 people. Yeah, the lifesteal you mentioned, Eclipse is there. Everfrost locks him down. Explosive cast is good, but he still has his ultimate and collateral damage getting out. But now with the mid laner in as well, explosive damage to take down that solo lane Graves. A shutdown over to Shiro Mine, and SEM9 do it again.
Yeah, they're able to find the pick. Really, really nice there. Unfortunately, Taco, you know, he's going to be a lot harder to take down next time around because he now gets himself the Merc Treads, and again, a lot of the burst damage coming in from the composition is going to be front-loaded on this Magic front with the Everfrost Gragas and the LeBlanc, and it will make things more and more difficult for the LeBlanc later on because of the fact that they are running double AP right here, and that's why this mid game is going to be very important because at the moment, there's not a whole lot of magic resistance. Well, come 5-10 minutes from now, that magic resistance will come through and make things harder for
Lazar. He's going to play in the mid lane. Whale has to get away. Galeforce DP right in the spot as well. Klayax getting depth charge in the back line. All they need to finish it off. And it's 665 with a double kill already. Sonic Wave resonating strike. He won't get the triple. He wanted it badly, but he'll be denied. And just as SEM9 set up for their next bridging play, it's MFT who once again slapped them in the face as that gold extends 8,000 and Nightstar Taco is back doing the dirty work in his side.
He is just playing Elden Ring. He is just constantly just doing his own thing, hitting these towers. Meanwhile, everyone else is playing League of Legends. And objective bounties are starting to come up, but I feel like it's already starting to get really out of hand.
I mean, how do you get out of the base here? Like, all of a sudden, it's a 10k gold lead. Even more
the towers?
At 19 minutes. And yeah, Taco pushes in. All waves belong to MFT. As Caspiel runs into a jungle that doesn't belong to him, 665 threatens him out. Lucky to get the romp with the smite, but you know, at this point for SEM9, they may have 2 objectives under their belt, but every single time MFT look like they're just striking back harder. And this is what we talked about. MFT needed to put on a really good performance here against S9 to show that they are worthy of, you know, holding a potential playoff spot. 2-4 in the league right now. This is a must-needed win.
Certainly looks good for them at the moment here. And now that Baron has finally spawned, that of course will be the next big thing for the side of MFT, because usually when you look at that first Baron, you're trying to crack those tier 2 towers, but already we have all the tier 2 towers gone. So now it's just kind of a waiting game, because it's so hard to just break the tier 3s without the help of Baron buff, especially this early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, only 20 minutes in, but speaking of Baron as well, MFT with a pretty fast one. They've got to clear out that one ward, but apart from that, SEM9 will be completely blind. And playing time around Baron, benefiting the whole Breaker Graves, of course. So I want to also point out these 3 items. I just missed that one. Black Cleaver now picked up too. So those waves do not last long whatsoever. And look, the rest of MFT around Baron, while Taco threatens the side lane, waiting for SEM9 to step on vision.
Yeah, and the big issue, of course, is the fact that Taco, he's going to demand pressure from multiple players from the side of SEM9 because of how far ahead he is. And I do like the Black Cleaver buy, actually, in this case, because of the fact that they are running triple AD, but Shiromine coming under fire here.
An easy dredge line, Sonic Wave, Explosive Cast, buying him time. Caspiel on a flank, look out for Whale. He's going to get dunked on, and Clax is right near him. Positioning of MFT's AD carry cost them so much. The Realm Warp to get out of there. And Taco doesn't have a lane, so SEM9 defending well.
Now, Taco trying to get pushed up, but it's just way too hard. Unless if he gets this kill, that would certainly change things.
I mean, Lazar does no damage against him. Look at this whole Breaker Grave. He runs in for his burst. That's
he just
meant
ignores
to hurt.
them.
And yeah, completely laissez-faire against Lazar. There goes the inhibitor turret, and Lazar can't do anything against him.
Oh my lord. Of course, also has the lifesteal coming in from the Eclipse, so that means he's able to heal up on whatever jungle camps are his now as well. So, yeah, it's looking great for Mr. Taco.
Yes.
He's really exclusively played PvE.
Yeah, and the whole of SEM9 have to send an army to try and get him now. Before, Lazar was the finishing touch, but I wonder this time. Taking a lot of damage from Shiromana's Caspiel, willing to come in, end of the line once more. The burst comes through, Super Mega Death Rocket won't do a thing, and it's a shutdown on Taco once again. When nothing's being taken, SEM9 are still getting resources on the map despite being so far behind.
Yeah, and this is what we did like to see from SEM9 in the 2 games that they had Caspiel, was that they were able to slow down the game when it came to trying to mitigate risk and capitalize on what they were being offered. And in that case, they got a free Taco right in that moment. And because MFT were on a reset timer, they weren't able to respond immediately to turn towards something like the Baron buff. And now we're going to have a bit of a dragon dance here, but because it's happening so fast, Lazar's not quite able to set up flanks.
Well, I want to see if SEM9 stick their guns on this, though, because Wern behind them with a Realm Warp in front, stolen easily. Ooh. MFT just walk right into Caspiel with Cataclysm. But you know what? It already looks lost here as Lazar's poked out. Shiromine in the front line. The LeBlanc beaten down bloody. Taco finally joins in, and this is the result. Flash kick to the face. MFT are done with SEM9 in their opening game.
Yeah, that's going to be certainly the beginning of the end here, as they should be able to get themselves, well, one more kill. But there is an open inhib, of course, and they can go ahead and just turn their attention over to the Baron buff as well. That timer's not quite there yet for them to actually straight up end the game, but surely they will turn their attention over to the Baron buff. They seem to be pretty slow moving around, so I guess we just get to dance again.
It's a very low game day, I think I've seen from a team. So MFT probably just not feeling confident to go through to push either for an end or start the Baron. Look at the fight again, because it didn't look good at all for S9.
It absolutely did not. Caspiel dives in to try and set things up, but again, with this composition, because you have yourself a LeBlanc and you have an AP Gragas, it's really about trying to set up flanks, being able to generate picks, and because they weren't able to generate a man advantage at the start of this fight, that's when, well, the better team fight composition on the side of MFT really just gets to sing all over them. And I mean, they already had a gold advantage coming into that fight, and it's pretty easy pickings straight up.
So I want to see them finish it off because it's 12,000 gold lead, but it really doesn't feel like it with how cautiously MFT are playing. The fact that SEM9 are out of their base with such a disadvantage are kind of speaking to the fact that they're getting more control than should ever be allowed. 665 walking into enemy brush right now. Caspiel going to run from the dredge line. And now we begin the Baron dance you want to talk about. There's a couple of wards in the pit. One will be spotted out. Control ward in the tri-brush behind. And waves being matched while Taco goes back to the solo lane. MFT deciding on whether they're going to take this fight.
Yeah, now it just comes down to how are you going to be able to check the Baron pit? Oh, they're just going.
They are. Caspiel runs in with the ulti. Epoch is by himself for now. Sonic Wave connects from 665. Won't take it as the poke's coming through. This is a 12k gold lead, ladies and gentlemen. Taco is in the side lane by himself with 4 completed items. Inhibitor's going to be exposed, and SEM9 now making their way back, and Baron's there, so this is what MFT wanted to do about 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah, Caspiel, it seems like he understands that they need to try and force a play, but unfortunately he uses the Cataclysm on a Nautilus, and they just aren't able to burst him down because they're just not there fast enough.
Yeah, he's just dead. Sonic Wave over the wall. We're going to take a Realm Warp, and one brings Whale with him. Caspiel waiting for that last flag and drag, but Whale takes him down. And meanwhile, it was the top laner in Taco heading towards the next turret, so MFT turned back to the Baron again. Nice and easy does it.
Yeah, and this time they should just commit and secure this Baron, as there's not a whole lot SEM9 can do. They're stuck at home, really stuck in quarantine here. They just are not given any ability to leave.
And it's sad because we kind of saw that this game was coming off to a really nice start. It was Caspiel finding good picks, Lazar getting ahead, and we talked about the condition of this team being in the fact that this LeBlanc wanted to snowball, wanted to really find good opportunities to get picks in this game, but even despite that, 665 came back with a vengeance. He threw away a little bit, and then the rest of MFT picks kept following suit. So it's been such a roller coaster of emotion, this game. But I think we have seen some development from SEM9. They're just still not at that point where they understand how to transition.
Yeah, not quite all on the same page. When it comes to map rotations here, it really just seems a bit discombobulated, and I mean, it looks somewhat okay right now because they're against MFT, who haven't really exemplified too much themselves, but
that's true. Oh, Caspiel going to give it to them though, and a nice step charge onto the back line. Clay-X, Gale forcing away both summoners available. Taco joins in. There's the Realm Warp as Clay burns all his summoners in front of 4 members, and MFT take their pickings. Now running straight through the base. This looks like finally we're going to end this game.
Yeah, it looks like this game will come to an end. At long last for MFT, they secured this victory, which certainly bodes well for them and for SEM9. Same old so far.
Yeah, 0-7 here as they move to the halfway point of the PCS spring split. MFT move it up to that halfway point in the standings.